These are the three bills that the National Assembly will be considering in the Committee of the Whole, where members will be deliberating on a number of amendments proposed in the Basic Education and the Births and Deaths Registration Bill. The Environmental Professionals Institute of Kenya National Assembly Bills number 36 of the year 2024 will have the National Assembly resume debate on this bill by Honorable George Gachagua. The House will be resuming debate that was interrupted on the 5th day of November 2025 during a morning sitting. It is almost a new debate as the bill has a balance of 3 hours and 28 minutes, meaning very little was debated in regards to the Environmental Professionals Institute of Kenya National Assembly Bills number 36 of the year 2024. But this morning, the honorable members will be having an opportune time to debate the various proposals in the bill sponsored by Honorable George Gachagua on the Environmental Professionals Institute of Kenya Bill number 36 of the year 2024. And away from the bills, as well as the motions, there are a number of other business that the House will be undertaking this morning. They include the Prevention of Livestock and Produce Theft Bill, a bill coming from the Senate or originating from the Senate. But at the National Assembly, this bill is being co-sponsored by Honorable Rahim Dawood. We currently have a rule that a bill can be sponsored by members from different houses, where we have a member from the Senate sponsoring the bill from the Senate, and have the same bill considered at the National Assembly being co-sponsored by a different member of the other respective house. So this bill is coming from the Senate, and at the National Assembly is being sponsored by co-sponsored rather by Honorable Rahim Dawood, who will be supporting his counterpart at the Senate to have the both houses consider the Prevention of Livestock and Produce Theft Bill number 12 of the year 2023 from the Senate. The Sexual Offences Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 78 of the year 2023 by Honorable Doris Donya, is coming up for debate this morning. This is a bill that is seeking to curb the sexual offences menace in the country by Doris Donya, and the National Assembly will be debating the proposals in her bill. Honorable Martha Wangari will be presiding over the business of the National Assembly this morning. She equally serves as a member of the Speaker's panel, and she'll be overseeing the business of the House for the better part of this morning session. Allow me to hand over for this live broadcast and enjoy your viewing.
Waheshimiwa, na tuombe. Mwenyezi Mungu ambaye kwa hekima na wema wako umeteua nyadhifa za viongozi na mabunge kwa ustawi wa jamii na utawala wa haki wa wanadamu, twakusihi tutazame kwa neema nyingi sisi watumishi wako ambao umeridhika kutuita ili tutekeleze shughuli muhimu za jamhuri hii yetu. Twakuomba ututeremshie baraka zako sisi tuliokutanika hapa, na utujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote yatakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako ziendelezwe, na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi hii yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Sasa. Sergeant at Arms, ring the bell for 10 minutes.
The business of the National Assembly has commenced this morning with Honorable Martha Wangari, the Honorable Member for Gilgil constituency, who equally serves as a member of the Speaker's panel presiding over the business of the National Assembly this morning. But upon the commencement of business, the House has a little quorum hitch, and that fact has necessitated the Speaker to direct the Sergeant at Arms to ring the quorum bell for 10 minutes to give some sort of leeway for members of the National Assembly who are within the presence of Parliament to make their way into the chamber this morning to ensure that the House is properly curated to commence business this morning. The directive is pegged on Standing Orders number 34, subsection 1 of the National Assembly that guides the House upon the commencement of business. We need at least 50 members of Parliament to be in the chambers this morning for the National Assembly to continue with its consideration of the businesses before it. And before I handed you over for this live broadcast brought to you by the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit in conjunction with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, I was just taking you through some of the agenda before the National Assembly this morning, where the House will be considering the Sexual Offences Amendment Bill of the year 2023, sponsored by Honorable Doris Donya, the woman representative for Kisii County. And let's now have a look at her bill and what it seeks to achieve. And the Sexual Offences Amendment Bill number 78 of the year 2023 is seeking to amend the Sexual Offences Act of the year 2006. This amendment will be seeking to provide for the promotion of national public awareness of sexual offences, that members of the public are made aware of what is considered to be a sexual offence. This, I believe, will be through civic education to members of the public. And further, the bill on sexual offences further mandates the Cabinet Secretary responsible for education, and this is educating members of the public to ensure programs to safeguard, protect, promote the right to education of victims of sexual offences, including the victims of teenage pregnancies. This is where members of the public are made aware of what is considered to be an offence or sexual offence committed to them, this being the victims in the event, or unfortunately, members of the public fall a prey to these offences. The bill provides for the definition of a Cabinet Secretary to align the Act with the Constitution. This is the Cabinet Secretary responsible for this matter. There are a number of clauses to the bill. There are a number of clauses to this bill on sexual offences that seeks to educate members of the public on sexual offences under the 2010 Constitution, what would be considered a sexual offence, and what are the rights to the victims who have fallen a prey to the executors of these heinous acts. Clause number 7 of the bill is seeking to introduce a new section. This is an introduction of a new section, Section 46, subsection A, to provide for the promotion of national public awareness of sexual offences. And further, the bill will be requiring that the Cabinet Secretary responsible for education to establish, safeguard, protect, and promote the right to educate victims of sexual offences, including victims of teenage pregnancies. Remember, dear viewers, the statistics on teenage pregnancies in the country is an issue that the government, through the corresponding ministries is seeking to see to it that the number is brought down to considerable levels, or none, so to speak, and that all children have the right to the education and remain in school. And this bill will be seeking to stress on the existing law and better it to ensure that Kenyans, especially the teenage children, are protected from these vices. The bill further states that any person who, without reasonable excuse, hinders or obstructs the taking of an appropriate sample in terms of subsection 5, this will be samples to ascertain whether the victim has undergone sexual offense. A person who hinders or obstructs that process shall be guilty of an offense of obstructing the course of justice and shall be convicted and be liable to imprisonment for a term of not less than 5 years or a fine of not less than 50,000 shillings or both. And where a person convicted of any offense under the Act and is proved that at the time of the commission of the offense, the convicted person was infected with HIV or any other life-threatening.
Honorable Tepkonga, do not walk out when the bell is ringing. Order, members.
Well, that is just a clarion call by the Honorable Speaker that members of the National Assembly should stay put until when the House has quorum. Then whoever wants to step out, albeit briefly, can do that. But for the time being, the House is focused on having the quorum to prosecute business before the National Assembly this morning. Remember, on Wednesday morning is a day set aside for the House to consider business by private members. It is a time when the National Assembly does not consider any government business. And the morning session set aside for consideration of the members' bills and business, it is crucial that that quorum is attained for the House to make progress on some of the business before members of the National Assembly or proposed by members of the National Assembly. I remember, dear viewers, time from time, this has come on the floor of the House with some of the members lamenting that some of their business has lagged behind in terms of consideration by the House. And so the setting aside of the morning sitting on Wednesday to consider business by private members is one of the steps the National Assembly is taking to dispense with the business by the members. Remember, there are a lot of bills coming from private members seeking to improve on the already existing acts. And so it is paramount for the House to have the morning sitting on Wednesday. But the successive commencement and conclusion of today's morning sitting is pegged on whether the House will raise the pertinent quorum to consider the business before it. And remember, the standing orders of the House empowers the Speaker to give an extension of a further 5 minutes. We have the 10 minutes given by Honorable Martha Wangari, currently presiding over the business of the National Assembly. And upon the lapse of the 10 minutes, a further 5 minutes will be given. And if upon the lapse of 5 minutes, the quorum will not have been attained, then the Speaker has the rights pursuant to the standing orders to adjourn the House until today, the afternoon sitting.
For Trans Nzoia, you're totally out of order. Go to the bar and bow.
Well, the House awaits the quorum this morning. The bill on sexual offences states that where the perpetrator, upon diagnosis, the presence of HIV antibodies and or antigens is detected through appropriate tests or series of tests, shall be prima facie proof that the person concerned is infected with HIV. And part B, if it is proved that the person was infected with the virus after committing an offense, it shall be presumed that unless contrary is shown, he or she was infected with the disease when the offense was committed, and they shall be punishable by law for that. The bill considers that as a very dangerous sexual offender. Away from the Sexual Offences Amendment Bill by Honorable Doris Donya, the National Assembly will this morning be debating the Universities Amendment Bill number 5 of the year 2023. This bill is a bill by Honorable Major Donk Gadhiru. It's a bill currently at the second reading. Bill number 5 on the Universities Amendment Bill.
Honorable members, we can begin the business of the House.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader, you have papers to lay. Member for Tinderet, you're stepping in.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 19th November 2025, morning sitting. Reports of the Auditor General and the financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2025, and certificate thereon in respect of 1. Alupe University, Commission on Administrative Justice, Staff Mortgage and Car Loan Scheme. 3. Kaiboi National Polytechnic, Kisumu National Polytechnic, Mitungu National Polytechnic, National Commission Secretariat, National Research Fund, Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, Staff Mortgage and Car Loan Scheme, Open University of Kenya. 10. Parliamentary Car Loan Scheme Fund. 11. Parliamentary Catering Fund. 12. Parliamentary Mortgage Scheme Fund. 13. Political Parties Fund. 14. Rongo University. 15. Salaries and Remuneration Commission Mortgage and Car Loan Scheme Fund. 16. Salaries and Remuneration Commission. 17. School Equipment Production Unit. 18. Street Families Rehabilitation Trust Fund. 19. Tom Mboya University. And 20. Wildlife Club of Kenya. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Very well. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
The member for Maragua, Honorable Wamaua.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I beg to give notice of the following motion. That aware that avocado farming and processing activities have expanded rapidly in Kenya, noting that the Kenya National Bureau of Standard Economic Survey 2024 approximated the national avocado production at 848,100 tons in 2024, up from 633,000 tons in 2023, and valued at Kenya shillings 29.5 billion, appreciating that according to the survey, Murang'a County contributed about 200,991 tons of the total production, making it the leading avocado producing county in the country. Concerned that avocado processing generates large volumes of organic waste, including peels, seeds, pulp, and pomans, which when improperly managed causes environmental degradation, water contamination, produces a pungent odor, attracts mosquito, and increase greenhouse gas emissions. Further concerned that residents of Murang'a County and other major avocado growing regions have raised concerns over improper disposal of avocado waste, which undermines the right to a clean and healthy environment, and as envisaged under Article 42 of the Constitution, thus posing significant public health and environmental risk. Appreciating that studies by the Food and Agriculture Organization 2023 and global best practices from countries such as Mexico and Chile have proven that avocado waste can be converted into biofertilizer, biogas, animal feeds, and other value-added products, recognizing that by embracing valorization of organic avocado waste, Kenya stands a chance to reduce environmental pollution and public health risks, create employment opportunities, and support a circular economy in the avocado sector. Appreciating the role of the national government in the formulation of policies and frameworks to guide and support effective waste management by county governments, now therefore, this House resolves that the national government formulates an avocado waste management and valorization policy to provide for, 1, sustainable avocado waste management and valorization, including research, training, and technology transfer to farmers, and the provision of processors on modern waste management and valorization practices with the aim of reducing pollution, improving public health, and creating jobs in the avocado producing regions. 2, promotion of investment and innovation by providing subsidies, incentives, and technical support for waste to value initiatives such as biodigesters, biorefineries, and other circular economy solutions. And 3, collaboration mechanism for the national government, county government, and private sector partners in sustainable avocado waste management and valorization. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Maragua. Honorable members, before we go to order number 7, kindly let's go. We will start with the Honorable David Kiplagat. Yes, David Kiplagat, MP for Soy.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Request for statement regarding the insecurity cases at St. George's area in Kapseret constituency. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the chairpersons of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding an assault incident involving Mr. Kennedy Kimeli Maswai, ID number 35399-224, a resident of Uasin Gishu County. Honorable Speaker, the residents of St. George's in Kapseret have faced a significant rise in crime and insecurity over the past couple of weeks, including violent assaults and coordinated mob attacks, especially in the evening, despite numerous appeals. Authorities have not responded, leading to widespread fear and suspicion of neglect or interference. On 2nd November 2025, Mr. Kennedy Kimeli Maswai was subjected to a violent attack by persons known to him, resulting in severe head injuries, a fractured leg, and compound fractures to his forearms, leading him to undergo an emergency surgery. The incident was reported at Langas Police Station on 3rd November 2025 under occurrence number OB number 36/03/11/2025. The victim statements included positive identification of perpetrators. However, despite the clear identification, no arrests have been made to date. The prolonged delay raises serious concerns regarding police inaction, potential obstruction of justice, and the erosion of public trust in the law enforcement. Honorable Speaker, the recent assault has sparked outrage among residents of Kapseret, who now doubt their personal safety and the efficiency of the law enforcement. I therefore urge the government to ensure immediate arrest of the identified perpetrators and guarantee that justice is delivered swiftly, transparently, without fear or favor. Honorable Speaker, it is against this backdrop that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Agriculture, not agriculture, sorry. I think I'm used to agriculture. On national administration and internal security on the following. Sorry for that. A report on the status of investigation into the cases of insecurity at St. George's area in Kapseret constituency. Secondly, reasons for the delay in the arrest of the perpetrators by the police at Langas Police Station, despite the detailed report by the victim and positive identification of the culprits. Third, action being taken against any officers found to have been neglect or complicit in delaying justice in this case. Fourth, measures being taken by security agencies to safeguard the victim and his family, who are currently living in fear following the incident. And lastly, plans put in place by the Ministry of Interior and National Administration to ensure the safety of the residents of St. George's area in Kapseret constituency was in Kishu County. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
On this, I will indulge two members who had a similar issue. 1 minute strictly, Makilap. Honorable Ruto.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for giving me this moment. Quickly, I want to take this podium to, first of all, being a neighbor and a resident of Uasin Gishu and a neighbor to where the incident happened, to condemn the barbaric act of attack on innocent citizens in a manner that is seemed to be undertaken to intimidate and to curb freedom of expression. Madam Speaker, the incident that happened was so horrific. The person in question, if you were able to witness the medical report, that person was taken through serious attack and manipulation and intimidation, and the pattern that he ended up breaking his both and limbs. Madam Speaker, this act depicts a scenario where we are seeing a reinstatement back of the backward culture of intimidating freedom of expression. The case in Kapseret is not the only one. We have witnessed over time such cases of balkanizing and trivializing the freedom of expression around Uasin Gishu. We've seen some young men and women who are being mobilized around town to walk around and intimidate people in a manner that they are able to make an opinion in a given direction. Madam Speaker, I want to take this moment and call upon the relevant authority, the ministry concerned, to make a decisive action and wipe out this particular culture that is coming up. Because if we are silent and allow this to move, the future of Uasin Gishu will be in threat. Because if people are going freely attacking people and no action is taken, it even demonstrates that there are some people who have taken captive of the law enforcement system in Uasin Gishu. Because there are some people who are not touchable. There are people who are acting around, attacking people aimlessly, anyhowly, and no action is taken. Madam Speaker, lastly, is to call upon the case of drawing out pistols by these attackers. The question is this: are they licensed?
Made your point. This will go to the Committee on Administration and Internal Security in 2 weeks. Next one, member for Kirinyaga Central. Are you in the house, Gitari? Honorable DK, what is out of order?
Like to indulge on your ruling of 2 weeks. This matter is so serious and it touches on the life of someone who currently is disabled because all the forearms were actually broken. The injuries on the head, the laxity and complacency of the police to investigate. So we need to use this statement so that we can restore sanity around Uasin Gishu.
You've made your
we
point.
Avoid issues
DK,
of yes.
So you've made your point.
Yes.
I will give it a maximum of 2 weeks, but bring a statement, a preliminary in a week.
Okay.
So the committee is directed. Member for Kirinyaga Central, Honorable Makilapa, I gave you a chance. You declined. Honorable member for Kirinyaga.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I have a request for statement regarding the reported coercion of 2 Kenyan citizens into the military service in Russia. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 442C, I rise to request a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations regarding the reported enlisting by coercion of 2 Kenyan citizens into military service in Russia Federation. Honorable Speaker, on 22nd October 2025, Mr. Martin Macharia Boro of passport number CK 160075 and Mr. Peter Kememia of passport number AK 1663005 traveled to Russia in pursuit for employment opportunities as drivers. Upon arrival, however, they were allegedly coerced into signing a contract to serve in Russian military despite having no prior military training or experience. The two are said to have undergone a brief 3-day training before being deployed to the front lines of the ongoing Ukraine-Russia conflict. This incident raises grave concern about the safety and welfare of Kenyan citizens seeking opportunities abroad, as well as the effectiveness of our diplomatic intervention in such situation. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background I request for a statement from the chairperson of Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations on the following. Number 1, a report on the status of the investigation into the reported forced enlisting of Mr. Martin Macharia and Mr. Peter Kememia into the Russia military. Number 2, the immediate action being taken by Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs to engage the government of Russia Federation to reprimand the 2 Kenyans. And finally, Madam Speaker, measures put in place to strengthen collaboration with Russia government and curb fraudulent employment agencies to target unsuspecting Kenyans job seekers. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations Committee, I see the Vice Chair. This is a very serious issue. I know at least a few of us who have constituents who have been lured to Russia but ended up in the battlefront without their knowledge or assent. So kindly, can you provide the report, or rather the response in 2 weeks?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think well guided, we will provide the answer within 2 weeks' time.
Honorable members, we go to a member for Machakos County, Kamene. Honorable Joyce Kamene.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I request for a statement regarding pollution by quarries and tire factories in Katani, Machakos County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Department Committee of Environment, Forestry and Mining regarding the pollution by quarries and tire factories in Katani and its environs. Honorable Speaker, the Katani Cosmopolitan Resident Association has on several occasions raised concerns with the National Environmental Management Authority, NEMA, over persistent pollution by quarry operators and tire factories in the area. The residents have cited air pollution from the dust generated by stones crushed, noise pollution from the stones crushed in the area which operates day and night, destruction of property by fly rocks and trauma from blasting activities, the uninhabited quarry sites abandoned after quarrying, posing safety concern to children and livestock. In addition, tire factories in the area continue to emit pollution that degrade the air quality. These concerns were investigated by the National Environmental Complaints Committee, which proposed regulations for compliance by the quarry operators and tire factories. Unfortunately, these recommendations have not been implemented, and non-compliance continues unabated. Honorable Speaker, the lack of compliance by the quarries is a contravention to the legal notice number 61 of 2009. The Environmental Management and Coordination, Noise and Excessive Vibration Pollution Control of 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Despite repeated reminders, the quarry operators persist with blasting beyond permitted hours and have failed to adapt basic environmental management practices, such as watering roads to control dust, which is also part of the corporate social responsibility. This has raised alarm for the residents whose rights to a clean and healthy environment continue to be infringed by the quarry operators and tire factories in the area. Honorable Speaker, it is in this view of the above that I request for a statement from the chairperson of Department Committee of Environment, Forestry and Mining for the following. A, the measure put in place to ensure that quarry operators, much as Bluestone, Cavestone, H. Young, Silverstone, and Fenaway, Lalage and Pride tire factories conduct their activities in compliance with the prescribed environmental regulations and without infringing upon the rights of residents to the clean and healthy environment. The second one, the plan put in place, if any, to convene an exclusive forum bringing together NEMA officials, county government representatives, quarry operators, and members of the Katani community to foster dialogue and ensure full compliance with environmental safeguards. And the third one, measures in place to ensure that the quarry operators upgrade the roads leading to quarries to bitumen standards as part of the CRS in order to reduce the billowing dust caused by trucks to and from the quarries. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Committee on Environment, Forestry and Mining. Chair is the chair in the House. Vice Chair. Leadership. Let it be communicated to the committee 2 weeks. Member for Nandi Hills.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C1, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning regarding the implementation and management of the Public Procurement Capacity Building Levy. Honorable Speaker, the Public Procurement Capacity Building Levy was established by legal notice number 206 of 2023 to provide funds for training, technical support, and mentoring aimed at improving the efficiency and effectiveness of public procurement and asset disposal systems. The levy set at 0.03% of the value of each signed public procurement contract took effect on the 1st September 2024 and applied to all new contracts, extensions, renewals, and variations executed thereafter. The funds collected are remitted by procuring entities to the Public Procurement Regulatory Authority for management and utilization. While the objective of the levy is laudable, there is concern regarding the administration, transparency, and accountability relating to the funds collected. It is therefore necessary to strengthen oversight to ensure that the levy serves the public interest effectively. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning on the following. Number one, the total amount of levy collected under the capacity building levy established by legal notice number 206 of 2023 from the 1st of September 2024, broken down into financial year 2024-2025 and financial year 2025-2026, including the total sum currently held by Public Procurement Regulatory Authority as at October 2025. Secondly is a report on the number of people trained using the levy, categorized by the type of training, region, dates, gender, and the beneficiary institutions. Third, a monitoring and evaluation report of the training activities demonstrating tangible outcomes attributable to the capacity building levy expenditure. Number 4, I need a comprehensive report on the procurement capacity development framework guidelines that govern the use of the capacity building levy funds, including short, medium, and long-term budget assessments, needs. And the last one, a list of procuring entities that have failed to remit the levy since commencement and the penalties enforced, if any. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Committee on Finance and National Planning, 2 weeks, bring the response. Member for Kinango, Honorable Gonzirai.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to request for a statement regarding the status of ownership of land parcel LR number 14210 in Puma Ward, Kwale County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the Provisional Standing Order 44(2)(c), I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Lands regarding the ownership status of land parcel number LR number 14210 registered under Kenya Triangle Limited in Puma Ward, Kwale County. Honorable Speaker, the residents presently occupying land parcel number LR number 14210 have resided here since the pre-independence era. Many are third generation inhabitants who have cultivated the land, built their houses, and sustained their livelihood across decades. They now face the imminent threat of displacement and reports of proposed sale of 110,000 acres carved from the land, from the larger land, 172,000 acres, holding under the Kenya Triangle Limited. To the government of Kenya, the lack of clarity and the public engagement surrounding the alleged transaction has triggered profound uncertainty across the affected communities. Residents fear that capacity of the process could lead to their eviction without fair compensation, severing the deep-rooted ties to ancestral land and jeopardizing the way of their life. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Lands on the following. One, the current legal status and ownership details of land parcel number LR number 14210, including any registered encumbrances, claims, or competing interests. Two, a report of any public participation or consideration undertaken to ensure transparency and accountability in the proposed sale of land. Three, confirmation whether the formal proposed or agreement for the sale of 110 acres by the Kenya Triangle Ranch along with the current status of the transaction. 4, the steps taken by the Minister of Lands, Public Works, Housing, and Urban Development and the National Land Commission to verify the ownership, compensate, and resettle their current occupation of the land. And 5, a report on the status of investigation by the Director of Criminal Investigation, DCIO, on the complaint lodged by the Kwale County Government of Kwale regarding the exercise of multiple title deeds on the same parcel of land, and any preliminary findings on the actions taken. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Before the next statement, allow me to recognize in the Speaker's gallery Family Life District Pathfinders, SDA Mombasa, from Nyali constituency, Mombasa County. You are welcome to observe the proceedings of the House. Member for Igembe North. Oh, hold on, Honorable Taitumu. Your question, Honorable Gonzirai, goes to the Lands Committee to bring a response in 2 weeks. It will be communicated to the committee. Honorable Julius Taitumu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Request for statement regarding status of Kaelo Kamukunji Mutuate Road project in Igembe North constituency. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the status of construction of Kaelo Kamukunji Mutuate Road project in Igembe North constituency. Honorable Speaker, in April 2023, His Excellency the President launched the construction of the Kaelo Kamukunji Mutuate Road, which was expected to be completed by December 2023. However, the project stalled following delays in payment of contractors implementing various road projects across the country. To address this challenge, the Ministry of Roads entered into agreements with the contractors who had pending bills for resumption of projects upon receipt of at least 40% of the amount owed. While most contractors resumed construction works upon receiving the payment, the contractor responsible for the Kaelo Kamukunji Mutuate Road project did not resume the works. Consequently, the road project has stalled for nearly 2 years since the expected completion date. The state of the road has severely disrupted transport and access to key socioeconomic services, including markets, health facilities, and schools. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. A report on the status of the construction of Kaelo Kamukunji Road, including the specific timelines for the completion of the project. B, steps that the Ministry of Roads is taking to ensure the completion of the project by either 1, ensuring the contractor returns to site as per construction obligations, or terminating and retendering the Kaelo Kamukunji Mutuate Road project to another contractor, and C, measures being put in place to ensure that the contractors who fail to fulfill their construction obligations are held accountable. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. That will be responded to by the Transport and Infrastructure Committee in 2 weeks. What is out of order, Honorable Wanjiku?
Honorable Speaker, I wish to request if you can catch the eye to the leadership of the House. I look at so many response, mine included, and I do not see the chairs, Madam Speaker. Yesterday we sat here until 6.
Honorable Anjiko, thank you. We have not gotten to the responses, and I can assure you, you are on the list to be responded to.
And the chairs?
Yeah. It is well taken care of. You will have your response at the right time.
Okay.
Okay. Honorable members, we still have some few more requests of statements. We'll go to the member for Embakasi West, Honorable Mark Mwenje.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this is a request for a statement regarding failure by the Kenya Revenue Authority to implement tax exemption on gratuity income. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to provisions of Study Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning regarding failure by the Kenya Revenue Authority KRA to implement the tax exemption on gratuity income. Honorable Speaker, the Finance Act 2025 amended the Income Tax Act, Cap 470, to exempt gratuity and after 1st July 2025 from income tax. However, the Kenya Revenue Authority has yet to fully implement this exemption due to delays in updating the income tax employer portal. As a result, gratuity payments continue to be subjected to income tax contrary to the law. This delay has caused undue financial hardship to affected individuals, including retired public officers and employees whose contracts have been terminated, thereby undermining the intent of the law to ease the tax burden on such categories of taxpayers. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning on the following. 1. The reasons for the delay in implementing the tax exemption on gratuity income as provided for under the Finance Act 2025. The immediate measures that the government is taking to expedite the update of the income tax employer portal to align with the law. 3, the plans put in place to facilitate refund of amounts wrongfully deducted from gratuity payments since 1st July 2025. And finally, the mechanisms put in place to ensure timely implementation of future tax policy changes to prevent similar occurrences. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable member, that statement will go to the Committee on Finance. Should be here in 2 weeks. Statement by member for Mandera South, Honorable Abdul Haro. You have the mic, Honorable member.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand to request for a statement regarding the status of electricity connectivity in Kutulo sub-county of Mandera County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Energy regarding the status of electricity connectivity in Kutulo sub-county in Mandera County. Honorable Speaker, Kutulo sub-county, home to Kutulo town, has been experiencing rapid growth in recent years. The area now hosts essential public infrastructure, including schools, a level 4 hospital, sub-county administrative offices, as well as national security and government institutions. According to the 2019 Kenya Population and Housing Census, Kutulo sub-county has a population of 72,394, spanning in an area of 2,509 square kilometers, with 9,342 conventional households and 104 group quarters. Despite this, less than 5% of households in the sub-county are connected to electricity, slowing economic activities. Honorable Speaker, Kutulo sub-county in Mandera County relies on an inadequate and unreliable electricity supply from a small substation in Kutulo in Wajir County, located 4 kilometers away. This substation also serves other distant towns like Horo Farar, 30 kilometers away, and Kharsa, 40 kilometers in Wajir, resulting in frequent blackouts in Kutulo within Mandera. The erratic power supply has disrupted critical services, including healthcare, education, and security, while also stifling economic activities. Major centers like Boji Garse, Kutayu, Lehele, and Harwale remain unconnected despite electricity lines having been commissioned and tested in the last 3 years. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Energy on the following. 1. Measures being taken by the Ministry of Energy and the Kenya Power to address the unreliable electricity supply in Kutulo Sub-County in Mandera County. 2. Plans being put in place to construct a dedicated power substation within Mandera County to serve Kutulo and the surrounding areas, including Garse Sala and Abasiti. 3. Steps being taken to fast-track connection of commissioned lines in Bojigarse, Kutayu, Lehele, and Harwale using targeted subsidies to lower costs for low-income households. And 4, long-term strategy by the government to ensure equitable power connectivity in marginalized and rapidly developing regions such as Kutulo Sub-County in Mandera County. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
To be responded by the Committee on Energy in 2 weeks, and the clerk's office ensure transmission of this to the committee clerks, because I don't see the chairs here. Next statement by the member for Nyaribari Masaba, Honorable Daniel Manduku.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is a request for statement regarding the implementation status of the Keroka Ivacho Kama Road project in Nyaribari Masaba constituency. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the implementation status of the Keroka Ivacho Kama Road project in Nyaribari Masaba constituency. Madam Speaker, the Keroka Ivacho Kama Road serves as a vital transport corridor linking key trading centers, schools, and farmlands within Nyaribari Masaba constituency. On the 13th August 2024, His Excellency the President William Ruto made a pronouncement committing the government to upgrade the road to bitumen standards. This announcement generated optimism among residents who rely on the road for daily transportation and economic activities. However, more than a year later, there has been no progress on the project, leading to concerns and frustrations from the residents. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. 1, the current status of the upgrading of the Keroka Ivacho Kama Road in Nyaribari Masaba constituency to bitumen standards. 2, the reasons for the delay in commencement of the project despite the directive by His Excellency the President on the 13th of August 2024. And 3, a report on the steps taken by the government to commence the project, including details on the invitation to tender, the anticipated implementation timeline, and measures to ensure the project is completed within the expected timelines. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Committee on Transport, 2 weeks. Statement by the member for Jomvu, Honorable Badi Twalib.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to request for a statement regarding severe water shortage affecting residents of Jomvu constituency. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation regarding the severe water shortage affecting residents of Jomvu constituency. Honorable Speaker, in accordance with Article 43 of the Constitution of Kenya, every person has the right to clean and safe water in adequate quantities. Sadly, Honorable Speaker, in the last 3 months, the people of Jomvu constituency, that is in Jomvuku Ward, Miritini Ward, and Mikindani Ward, have been facing an acute water shortage, with many households struggling to access clean and safe water. This situation, Honorable Speaker, is particularly concerning given that Jomvu is the first point of entry and host of the main water reservoir serving Mombasa County in a place called Birikani. Despite this strategic position, Honorable Speaker, residents continue to experience persistent water shortages that have caused immense hardship, heightened health risks, and increased economic strain. Honorable Speaker, many families are now compelled to rely on expensive and reliable alternative sources supplied by private water vendors, especially water boozers. Consequently, there has been a surge in private vendors exploiting the dire situation, creating the perception that the shortage may be human instigated. This is not only unsustainable, but also poses a serious threat to public health and the general well-being of the community. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation on the following, Madam Speaker. 1, the underlying causes of the persistent water shortage in Jomvu constituency, including any infrastructural and operational challenges contributing to this crisis. 2, Madam Speaker, the measures that the ministry has put in place or intends to implement to address an immediate water needs of the residents and to provide a sustainable, reliable water supply in Jomvu constituency. And thirdly, Madam Speaker, the funding allocated to water projects in Jomvu constituency, including details on utilization of these funds and planned interventions aimed at resolving water scarcity. I thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity.
That will be responded before by the committee.
Madam Speaker, Madam Donyo
Honorable
is raising
member,
her hand.
Honorable
There is
Twalib.
something burning, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Twalib,
Yes.
you will not do the Speaker's job. You have done your statement. Kindly give the Committee for Water time to respond, and I direct that they do that in 2 weeks. Is it on the same? I have already given direction, and I will not indulge debate on the statements. Honorable members, Honorable Donya, you are out of order. You are out of order. Honorable members, we still have a lot of statements to prosecute. We are going to Honorable Member for Nandi, Honorable Muge. Kindly request your statement. Thank you. Honorable Member for Jomvu, if you are keen, you would have heard I've given 2 weeks. Honorable Muge, kindly go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Madam Speaker, is it in order for Honorable Donya to continue disturbing the Speaker?
Honorable,
we are supposed to be doing.
Honorable Member Wamboka, kindly give Honorable Muge the floor to prosecute the statement.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Lands regarding the status of land leases in Nandi County. Honorable Speaker, land is one of the most scarce, sensitive, and emotive resources in the country as it forms the basis of livelihoods, investment, and the identity of communities. In Nandi County, Honorable Speaker, there is a growing public concern over the management, the renewal, and ownership of various leasehold parcels. Some of these parcels, Honorable Speaker, are alleged to have expired, while others are embroiled in disputes and ongoing litigation. The situation, Honorable Speaker, has created uncertainty and anxiety within communities, and there is need for clarity on ownership, the applicable procedures for lease renewal, and the fate of land parcels upon expiry of the lease term. Article 65(1) of the Constitution of Kenya provides that non-citizens may hold land only on the basis of leasehold tenure and for a period not exceeding 99 years. Despite this, Honorable Speaker, certain ongoing court cases appear to recognize or rely upon the 999-year contract to the Constitution, 999-year contract to the Constitution, contrary to the Constitution. This has created confusion among the public on the legality, enforceability, and transitional treatment of such leases. It is therefore imperative for the Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development to provide clarity on how historical leases are interpreted, how they are regularized or converted under the current constitution, and the impact on landowners and communities in Nandi County and indeed across the country. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Lands on the following issues. 1, a report on all leasehold parcels in Nandi, indicating the total number of leases, the respective acreage, the identities of the lessees, and the current status of each of those parcels of land. Secondly, Madam Speaker, states the legal administrative position on the application of the historical 999-year leases, as well as transitional timelines that are being applied in ensuring conformity with Article 65(1) of the Constitution in the country and specifically within Nandi County. And lastly, Honorable Speaker, the roles and responsibilities of the Ministry of Lands, the National Land Commission, and the County Land Board in overseeing compliance with the constitutional requirements, managing lease renewal, and safeguarding community interest, particularly in instances, Madam Speaker, where leases have lapsed or relate to public, historical, or communal land. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. This also goes to the Committee on Lands. And a note to all the chairs that we are headed to the long recess. All these should be responded before we break for recess. Honorable Ado, you have a request for statement also?
Yes. Yes, Speaker. Thank you. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to seek for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the disappearance of several persons under unclear circumstances. Honorable Speaker, on the 9th of May 2024, Mr. Jama Adan Mohammed, ID number 33628771, was abducted by security personnel and his whereabouts remain unknown to date. The matter was reported at Liboi Police Station under OB number 120905-2024. Additionally, 2 other individuals, Mr. Abdi Adan Elmi, ID number 25919658, and Mr. Isaac Abdi, ID number 41166-945, were abducted on 1st of September 2025 at the Dajabula location in Sabuli Sub-County, Wajir South constituency. Their disappearance was reported at the Dajabula police station under OB number 0501092025. Despite numerous efforts by the affected families to obtain assistance from government and security agencies to trace their loved ones, no tangible progress has been made to date. Inquiries at local police stations have yielded no information, and the prolonged absence has caused immense emotional and psychological distress to the affected families and communities. Honorable Speaker, these incidents raise grave concerns regarding the protection of fundamental rights as guaranteed under Article 29 of the Constitution, which safeguards every individual from arbitrary deprivation of freedom and the right to security. The inaction by security agencies undermines public confidence in the government's commitment to uphold justice and protect citizens. Honorable Speaker, It's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. Number one, the current status of investigations into the disappearance of Mr. Jama Adan Mohammed, ID number 33628771, Mr. Abdi Adan Ilmi, ID number 259-19658, and Mr. Isaac Abdi, ID number 411-66945, as reported under OB numbers 1209-05-2024 and 050109-2025. And also, number two, what measures are being taken by the Ministry of Interior and National Administration to ensure the safety and protection of Wajir South, of the residents of Wajir South constituency from these horrible illegal seizures by security personnel? I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Committee on Administration and Internal Security bring a response in 2 weeks. The next request, Honorable Amaua. You don't have a request? Okay. Honorable members, will go to the responses, and we'll start with the chairperson, Departmental Committee on Health. Honorable Nyikao, to respond to Honorable John Kagusha's statement. Is Kagusha in the house? Yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is response to Honorable Kagucha MP regarding the acute shortage of blood testing kits in the country. Honorable Speaker and members of the Assembly, through the blood transfusion and transplant services, I wish to make this response. The blood transfusion and transplant services is mandated to provide safe blood cells and organs to all Kenyans. Safe blood and blood components should be accessible and adequate when needed by patients for transfusion. Kenya Blood Transfusion and Transplant Services conducts donor sensitization, recruitment, blood collection, transportation, processing, testing, storage, distribution of blood and blood components to transfusion facilities within the country, as well as hemovigilance, which is basically to notice how people are getting blood and the quality of the blood. The blood service is centrally coordinated and operates in a hub and spoke model with 6 regional blood transfusion centers linked to the blood transfusion satellites in all counties. The regional transfusion centers conduct donor sensitization, blood collection, blood testing, storage, and distribution of blood and blood components. The services plays a central role in case of emergencies, outbreaks, and disasters, and redistributes blood across the country. The service receives budgetary allocation through the Ministry of Health. The budgetary allocation for blood transfusion has been increasing over the last 4 years, rising from 163 million in the financial year 2020-21 to 1.3 billion for the financial 2023-24. During the financial year 23-24, the World Bank project supplemented the budget by 1.4 billion, totaling 2.7 billion. The budget for the financial year 2024-2025 was reduced over that time from 760 million to 300 million in the first supplementary budget. In the same period, and this is important, around the same time, the World Bank program concluded its funding to the blood transfusion services, creating a funding gap. The reduction in the budget and the conclusion of the program significantly impacted the daily operations of blood transfusion, and that accounts for the hitches that we are experiencing. So the ministry's response is: 1, the report on the measures the government has put in place to avert the crisis and ensure there are adequate essential testing kits to enable the screening of blood donated across the country. The Ministry of Health recognizes the critical importance of ensuring an adequate supply of essential testing kits for screening donated blood across the country. To avert the potential crisis, the ministry has undertaken the following: budgetary advocacy, where the ministry is actively engaging relevant stakeholders to increase budgetary allocations in the proposed budget 25-26, and will continue to push for further increments and subsequent years. Strategic procurement and stock management efforts are being made to streamline procurement processes, to strengthen the supply chain systems and improve stock management to prevent shortages and ensure continuous availability of testing kits. The public-private partnership efforts are being made, and the ministry is exploring collaboration with development partners and private sector players to mobilize additional resources and enhance the capacity of blood screening services nationwide. And 4, there's an effort to enhance efficiency and resource utilization. Measures are being put in place to optimize existing resources, including better coordination between blood banks and health facilities to ensure equitable distribution and utilization of available kits. Through the intervention of the ministry, still committed to safeguarding the availability of blood transfusion, for blood products for the blood transfusion services. The next response: on what immediate measures is the government taking to ensure uninterrupted provision of clean blood for patients, especially those in current need? The response is: the Ministry of Health acknowledges the urgent need to ensure the interrupted provision of safe screened blood for patients across the country. To address immediate shortages and maintain continuous supply, the following measures have been taken. 1, budgetary allocation, increase of budgetary allocation for the services, and the ministry is requesting for 500 million Kenya shillings in the supplementary budget. 2, they are making further budgetary requests for the rest of the year and the coming years. 3, the operational adjustments for efficiency. The ministry is optimizing the distribution of available resources by prioritizing high-demand health facilities and strengthening coordination between blood banks, hospitals, and regional collection centers. 4, they're working on emergency procurement and partner engagement, and they have discussions that are underway with development partners and private sector stakeholders to secure emergency supplies of testing kits and consumables to sustain services while waiting additional funding. Through the interventions, the ministry remains committed to ensuring timely access to safe blood for all patients. Third response: the long-term measures being put in place to mitigate the risk and ensure a consistent supply of essential kits. The Ministry of Health again recognized the critical need and has put in place measures to mitigate the risk. And as you have said, again, this is increased budgetary allocation and lobbying for that. 2, dedicated blood services account. Madam Speaker, this is basically what to me is new in this whole response, so that we have a dedicated account that handles blood services, where finances that raised whether from government and partners can be put. And 3, get a framework contract for an uninterrupted supply. The minister developed a framework contract system with suppliers to guarantee a steady and predictable supply of blood screening reagents, consumables, and kits. This will minimize procurement delays, but that framework really just works if you have the money. Strengthen partnership and resource mobilization. Again, as the minister has indicated, this is what they're working on. The 4th response: measures to adequately facilitate Kenya National Blood Transfusion Service to carry out its mandate. The response is the Ministry of Health, again, is committed to this process, and to achieve this, the Ministry has undertaken the following key measures. Legislative reforms for autonomy. The Ministry is in the final stages of establishing Kenya National Blood Transfusion Services as a semi-autonomous entity through legislative process. And I can actually vote to this, that there is a blood and tissue bill that is actually in process. 2, ring-fence the budget for blood services. 3, strengthen infrastructure and build the capacity for these services. And 4, public and private and development partner engagement. And that is the end. I just will comment that the basic issue in the blood transfusion services is the sudden cessation of support from the World Bank, and then we have not respondingly increased the required amounts. And so although this is the response from the ministry, as a committee, I think it behoves us that when we're now looking at the budget, we need to actually put more money. And this report actually has been here for quite some time, and it's a bit behind in time. And as a committee, we will have to actually look at what they have said here, particularly in terms of the law and 2, budget allocation. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I have a similar one, if I can go straight to it.
Just hold on. Before I indulge member for Honorable Kagusha, allow me to first recognize in the speakers gallery students learning security and criminology from Mount Kenya University, from Thika Town, constituency, Kiambu County. We welcome you to observe the proceedings of the House. Honorable Nyikal, I would think that we indulge Honorable Kagusha before we go to the next statement. Honorable Kagusha, I know you're seized of the response. Do you have any follow-up questions? Don't debate, make a follow-up question.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I note that the PES has admitted to the acute shortage of the blood testing kits and reagents in the country. Honorable Speaker, what the PES is telling us is that this has been occasioned by budget shortfalls. Honorable Speaker, at the point when I was raising this question, we had very serious challenges with the kits. But may I now inform Kenyans that we do not only have a problem with the kits, but this problem has also escalated even to the refreshments that are given to the blood donors when they go to do the donations. Honorable Speaker, today, the blood donors are required to buy their own refreshments. Honorable Speaker, the impact of this is that there has been increased deaths for patients who are seeking emergency services and blood transfusion. Honorable Speaker, you can also see a connection between the high maternity mortality rate in the country to this lack of blood transfusion. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I find the response by the PS lacking in many ways. He says that he has requested for 500 million and gotten 100 million, okay. But Honorable Speaker, the PS is now proposing to ration blood in the country in what he's calling the operational adjustment and efficiency. That is prioritizing high demand facilities, leaving out the low demand facilities. Honorable Speaker, this is very serious because if you are going to demand to now prioritize the high the high demand facilities, are you telling us that one patient who requires blood in those low blood demand facilities are not as important? Honorable Speaker, from this the response, I also find that like the PS is helplessly hoping to get some well-wishers to donate kits as he awaits budgetary allocation. Honorable Speaker, can you imagine the whole country of Kenya relying on the well-wishers? He says that he's going to do a framework contract. But how does this help if at all you don't have budget? Then he's also proposing to have public-private partnership on issues of blood. In Jesus Winners Ministry, the president donated 100 million shillings. AIC was in issue. The president donated 20 million shillings. Honorable Speaker, I have been able to get where the money for blood transfusion has been going to. Honorable Speaker, the president is taking the money for blood donation to the churches and taking them to empowerment programs when Kenyans are left to die.
Honorable Kagusha. Order, members. You do not have to raise your hands. You are not in a classroom. Honorable members, use your interventions. Honorable member for Nandi, what is out of order?
Honorable Speaker, is it in order for the Honorable Member Kagusha to blatantly lie about donations that were made by I don't know who? I was in a meeting in Kapsabet, Honorable Speaker, and I never heard such an amount. And Honorable Speaker, does it dictate what someone gives? Because that is a personal contribution, if at all it was given. And if he's mean, Honorable Speaker, the Deputy President or whoever is mentioning are not mean. And Honorable Speaker, I just want him to be able to confirm or to be able to substantiate what he has said. Where are the figures coming from? I was in that meeting.
Madam Speaker, Honorable Kagusha needs to withdraw his statement, because there is no fact in what he has said, because whatever the Ministry of Health, Madam Speaker, the Ministry of Health has got its own budget allocated from this House. So there is no way he can say 100 million given there or 85 million given there. That is a personal donation, and not the president or the deputy president does not hold the kitty for the health ministry.
You made your point, Honorable CNN.
Madam Speaker, we are a house of facts, and we have to be factual when we are speaking before the House, Madam Speaker. I would like to request Honorable Kagusha to withdraw his statement immediately, because we don't have a list of where the donations were done, and it is high time we start to be factual. As far as I'm concerned, we are not supposed to lie or to spread falsehood about any person in this country, Madam Speaker. Let us be factual.
Member for Machakos, you do not have to shout. Use your system. I will give you an opportunity. Nyamai.
Honorable Speaker, is it in order for the Honorable Kagusha to mislead the nation, to mislead this House, to mislead the international community by giving a list of non-existent donations? We know very well that Kagusha is not speaking the truth. This is a house of records. If whatever he's saying is not true, and I know it is not true, he should withdraw and apologize, because those donations he's talking about are non-existent.
Honorable Speaker.
Wamboka, what is out of order?
Give me the mic.
You have the mic,
Madam
Wamboka.
Speaker, without going to a lot of stories and hulabalus, we may ask through you, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Kagusha, to bring us the list of donations, because I'm sure if he makes that allegation, he can get them. So, without going to many stories, can we ask the good Honorable Kagusha utulete hiyo story ya donations so that we finish all this story? Yeah. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Kagusha.
Honorable Speaker.
Hold on. Honorable Kagusha, you have done very well in seeking clarification, but several points of orders have been raised. Kindly restrict to Standing Order 91 on responsibility for statement of fact. Have enough data to convince the House, and I'll give you the floor to do that.
Honorable Speaker, I'm in agreement with you. I am able to substantiate this. I'm able to bring documents showing that on Sunday, the president did contribute in ACK Kapsabet, 50 million. The deputy president contributed 10 million. We had Felix Kosgei contributing 5 million. And Honorable Speaker, the list goes on and on. The president did commit 100 million in AIC Marsabit. Honorable Speaker, I'm even able to show this House how the President gave 100 million to teachers of Kupet and Nat in State House, how delegations from Murang'a County, Kiambu County, Turkana County were all given hundreds of millions. Honorable Speaker, all this money is coming from the budget. Honorable Speaker, all this money is for the blood transfusion for our patients, and that's why hospitals are suffering. Honorable Speaker, I can substantiate.
Do not make more allegations than you can prove already. I actually want you to restrict yourself to that. Honorable Marianne, what is out of order?
Honorable Speaker, you have directed Honorable Kagusha to bring evidence of what he is substantiating, but he is going on to continue reading figures and statements that are not true or are not substantiated. Why can't Honorable Kagusha follow your direction, Honorable Speaker, and submit that he will provide the evidence he's talking about?
Honorable Kagusha, I want to give you the afternoon sitting to bring that evidence as guided understanding order 91-2, and you will give it to be on record. But in the meantime, I'll give Honorable Nyikao, because there are issues that have been raised for clarification to clarify and ignore the part that is in dispute.
Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker,
Honorable members, order members, order. Let us listen to the Chair Health Committee. Kindly, Honorable Nyikao.
Madam Speaker, okay, Madam Speaker, the issues that have been raised, the issues that have been raised is one, reliance on donors, reliance on other stakeholders, reliance on the private sector, a framework that is in place without funding. They are all revolving around one issue, that actually there isn't enough funding. That is the basic issue here. And I think as a committee, all I can say, I can't talk for the ministry, because this I read as a come from the ministry, but I know that as a committee, we have only one responsibility that can link to this. At that responsibility is when it comes to the budget time, this has given us the information that there are no funds, so we just have to see how we increase funds for blood transfusion services in the country. I can also tell you from knowledge, my knowledge that I have and experience, that there are many services in this country, blood transfusion being one of them, immunization being another, reproductive health products such as contraceptive being another, where for a long time as a country, we have actually relied on partners and relied on donors. And I think, to me, what this means, we must as a country start looking for funds from our own budget to service the essential, to fund essential services in our country. Now, I'm talking as a committee, I cannot reply for the minister, but as a committee, that is what I see, that is what we'll deal with. All the things that are put here, without money, they will not work. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Kagusha.
So, Honorable Speaker, what you realize actually from what the chair is giving us is that at some point we actually had allocated 1.4 billion Kenya shillings just at the onset of this our parliament. And now we are struggling to raise just about 300 million shillings for this very critical area. Honorable Speaker, I do not think as a country we lack money, for sure. And Honorable Speaker, the issue of blood transfusion is so sensitive in Kenya that we cannot leave it to fate. I would actually want to ask the Honorable Chair, how much is allocated in this year's budget? Because what we are looking at really is what was in the last year's budget. How much did he allocate in this year's budget?
What is out of order, Rahim?
Madam Chair, there is a motion which passed in 2016, my motion, requiring the government to do an ICU and a blood donor unit in the whole country. That has never been implemented. That is for the chair.
For the chair health?
Yes, for the chair health, because it was passed by this House in the 11th
It is actually,
Parliament.
thank you, you've made your point. It's actually for the chair health and the chair implementation. Because we are having quite many pronouncements from this House that go unfulfilled and unimplemented. Honorable Kagushia, wind up.
Yeah, so
follow-up
Honorable Chair,
question.
what will surprise you is that Kenyans of goodwill are willing to donate blood all over the country. And by the way, even when they are told to come with their own refreshments, some of them are ready to forego taking refreshments after donating blood, and they are willing to donate that blood even without refreshment. But Honorable Speaker, what is letting them down, because I would want Kenyans to understand clearly, is that when they donate blood, that blood is not tested, and hence it goes to waste. So until when, as a country, can we have blood collected from Kenyans of goodwill, then all that blood goes to waste? Because apparently, we are waiting for some well-wishers from God knows where to come and help our country. And so, Honorable Speaker, for sure, I want this question to be escalated to the CS.
You've
so
made
that
your
the time
point.
the CS is...
You've made your point. You know how to ask the CS a question, follow the procedure to do that. But in the meantime, Honorable Nyikal, you can respond to the issue of budgeting. And also, the committee has the leeway to actually invite the CS or the PS or both to respond to this matter.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. There are two actually aspects. One aspect is actually the budget. I actually did check even up to this morning, and I must say that even the budget this year is not adequate. It's actually 300 million, and it is true there's been a request for more. And I think when we come to the supplementary, as I said, as a committee, we'll do that. So that is an issue. Then the issue raised by Honorable Dawood is that it was passed here that we should have an IC unit and a blood transfusion unit in every county. That is true, but there's a fundamental issue in our structure that when this parliament passes, any committee brings a report and that report is adopted, it ceases to be actually the function of that committee. It goes to the implementation committee. And maybe those of you who watched TV recently, I had an issue where I thought that if you have something with the department, maybe before you bring it to the House, and so that it is the House passes it, you can actually discuss it with the ministry or the agency concerned, so that they know, so that they can actually start working on it instead of coming here. And remember, all the committees we have, whatever decisions they bring to the House that is actually passed in the House, it goes to one committee, which is the implementation committee. I think we should look at that structure. We need to look at it so that committees can actually follow things up. But as you have said, there's a provision which we will use that if there are matters that are important as this, we will get the minister to be here. Because I know there are matters that are still coming, and that is something the committee can take up, get the minister to be here, and respond to these issues that are being raised. Thank you, Honorable.
Very well. Chair, you have another response on a similar matter, so we will not spend so much time on this. The response to Honorable Joyce Kamene.
Once again, thank you, Honorable Speaker. This is in response to Honorable Joyce Kamene regarding blood donation and transfusion services at Kenyatta National Hospital. They are very close but separate. The first one was the shortage of blood transfusion kits nationally. This is the issue of blood transfusion service at Kenyatta National Hospital. In a way, they are related. So The issues that the honorable member raised were measures the Ministry of Health has in place to ensure seamless services to patients requiring critical blood transfusion services, especially platelets, donation and transfusion, given that the center does not operate during weekends and past the scheduled hours. The response is the ministry has established a robust national blood services network to ensure an efficient and effective blood transfusion services. The network comprises of 6 regional blood transfusion centers that act as hubs, namely in Nairobi for Nairobi region, Nakuru for Central Rift region, Eldoret for North Rift region, Kisumu for Lake Basin, Embu and Mount Kenya region, and Mombasa for Coastal region. Each regional blood transfusion center serves between 7 and 10 counties. 45 blood satellite centers or spokes are strategically distributed across the country to ensure equitable access to safe and adequate blood and blood products. And the blood transfusion centers serve as the backbone of the National Blood Services Network, bearing the responsibility for processing, conducting specialized laboratory testing for transfusion, transmissible infections. In addition, they handle storage, distribution, and coordination of blood donor recruitment and collection activities, ensuring a reliable and efficient blood supply system across the respective regions. And I have a list giving the other 45 regional collection centers, apart from the ones I've mentioned. To complementing the hubs are the satellite centers whose primary role is to mobilize donors, collect, process, store, and distribute blood to all transfusion health facilities within their jurisdiction. Together, the hubs and spokes form an integrated network that ensures the availability of safe and adequate blood transfusion across all levels. The Ministry of Health hosts the Nairobi Regional Transfusion Center within the Ministry of Health Hafia Annex Compound, a facility that is distinct from the Kenyatta National Hospital Blood Satellite Center located within the hospital. Although separate, the two centers perform complementary functions that collectively enhance the efficiency and the responsiveness of blood transfusion services in the region. The two-tier support structure ensures seamless coordination, rapid response, and timely access to safe blood for critical patients within Kenyatta National Hospital and the surrounding health facilities. The Kenyatta National Hospital Blood Satellite Center was established to meet the hospital's high demand for blood and blood components, which arises from the specialized surgeries, emergencies, critical care, maternity, and oncology interventions. The facility is fully equipped to prepare all blood components, including platelets that the honorable member asked for, plasma and red cell concentrates, and operates on a 24-hour basis, ensuring uninterrupted service delivery to the patients in need. The honorable member needed to know the steps being taken to extend the operating hours beyond 5 p.m. and weekends so as to receive more blood donations. The Ministry of Health recognized the growing demand for blood and blood components, particularly in urban referral settings, and is therefore taking proactive measures to enhance operational hours and strengthen service delivery. Currently, all satellite blood bank centers, including Kenyatta National Hospital Satellite, operate on a 24-hour basis, including weekends and public holidays. Similarly, the regional blood transfusion centers operate daily and respond to emergency call-out at night and other hours, ensuring the timely availability of blood for patients in need. However, staffing gaps, especially among technical laboratory officers responsible for blood transfusion testing and components preparation continue to pose a challenge in extending full routine services on hours beyond 5 p.m. In response, the ministry has implemented several mitigation measures to address these capacity constraints. One, they have initiated a progressive staff deployment plan to strengthen the technical capacity at regional blood transfusion centers while engaging county governments through the existing governmental avenues to strengthen the operation of satellite blood centers and blood banks. Two, the ministry through the Kenya Blood, Tissue and Transplant Services has introduced flexible working shifts and workflow systems to cover extended hours and emergencies. Three, the Kenya Blood Transfusion and Transplant Services has an approved staff establishment of 275 for the 6 regional blood transfusion centers but in post, but staff are only, they have an establishment of 275, but staff in post are only 135, which is 49% of their requirement. In this regard, we have engaged Public Service Commission and have agreed to conduct a work staff load analysis for purposes of finalizing the Kenya Blood Transfusion and Transplant organogram to pave way for engaging more staff optimized operations. This is earmarked to be undertaken by December 2025. We are there. In regard to platelet availability, the ministry has enough capacity at the Nairobi Regional Blood Transfusion Center to prepare, store, distribute complements, including platelets. This has been made possible through the procurement of a newly installed automated equipment in addition to anapheresis at the Regional Blood Transfusion Center. In addition, the ministry continues to collaborate with partners and volunteers to support weekend blood drives and after-hours donor recruitment campaigns, ensuring sustained donor engagement and continuous replenishment of blood stocks. These combined efforts are geared towards ensuring consistent blood availability, expanded donor access beyond traditional working hours, and improved service delivery across all levels of the health system. Furthermore, transfusing health facilities and satellite blood centers are expected to collaborate closely with the regional blood transfusion centers to maintain adequate stocks of screened, ready-to-use blood in their storage. This stock should cater not only to routine transfusion needs, but also to weekend and holiday demands. Notably, this function is largely a service delivery responsibility and therefore falls under the mandate of county governments. The third inquiry was a comprehensive report on the status of apheresis machines at Kenyatta National Hospital, including plans, if any, to procure another machine to supplement the existing one. Response: an apheresis machine directly collects blood concentrate from a donor. Platelets can be prepared from whole blood using automated centrifuge or by manual methods. The apheresis machine at Kenyatta, at the National Regional Blood Transfusion Center, is newly installed, fully functional, and covered by a comprehensive maintenance contract with the manufacturer. As a result, any technical issues are addressed promptly. Madam Speaker, what they're really saying in that statement is, apart from the new machine, they are also doing it manually using centrifuge systems. I think that's what that means. The installation has significantly increased the center's capacity to produce platelets and plasma components for patients who require specialist transfusion support. Consequently, we no longer face the blood component preparation challenges previously experienced. In addition, as part of the ongoing modernization of blood services, the Ministry of Health has ordered an additional apheresis machine scheduled for delivery by the end of 2025. The satellite has also the capacity to prepare platelets, further strengthening national readiness to meet patient needs. Query number 4 was plans put in place by the Ministry of Health to upscale the capacity of the blood transfusion services at Kenyatta National Hospital to address the huge influx of patients given that it is a referral hospital. The Ministry of Health has prioritized the Nairobi Regional Blood Transfusion Center for infrastructure and capacity enhancement to meet the increasing donor turnout and transfusion demand within the capacity of the city. Ongoing and planned interventions include expansion of the and refurbishment of the donor areas and laboratory, procurement of additional processing and testing equipment, strengthening donor mobilization initiatives, deployment of additional technical and donor recruitment staff to manage extended hours and high volume operations. And lastly,
Honorable Chair.
Lastly,
lastly,
in integration of the Nairobi, integration of the Nairobi Regional Blood Transfusion Center and Kenyatta National Hospital satellite into the National Blood Service Sustainability and Digital Management Framework for efficient resource tracking and inventory management. Thank you, Madam Speaker. In my comment is that is different from what we discussed earlier, is basically staff. The other time we were talking largely of the budget. What this has introduced is a staff shortage. So I think as a committee, I know other members will respond, my response would be, what are we going to do about the staff complaint for the National Blood Transfusion Services? I think, thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very much, Chair. Honorable Kamene, member for Machakos, do you have any clarifications to seek?
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Chair, for the feedback. But I still feel, and I still think that some of those answers are not valid, because he has stated very clearly that the satellite banks have been revived. And I wonder, how will these satellite banks work when the counties do not even have a capacity to test? The other issue is on the 24-hour operation, which I think, and which I know is not true. What I would request is if the committee would make a visit to these centers, and especially the Kenyatta National, to see one-on-one what is being stated and what is actually taking place in the transfusion centers. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chair, would you like to make any comment on that?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, I do agree. The truth is, when we ask these questions and the ministers give us, or the ministers or the PSS give us answers, they literally depend on the technical report they get from the officers. And obviously, they will try to make them look as good as possible when they're coming before us. I therefore agree with the honorable member that the best way to look at this is actually to visit not only Kenyatta, but even the regional satellite banks. They are really supposed to work, from my own knowledge, that actually every county hospital should be able to do transfusions, and then they serve also at the regional satellites. Ideally, like hospitals, they should work round the clock or have call services for hours after 5 p.m. So I do agree, and as a committee, we actually need to visit these county facilities, because even with our SHA operations, that is something we need to look at. And they are under the counties. So the information we get from the Ministry of Health need to be actually corroborated by what we get when we get to the ground, which then is actually the responsibilities of the governors. And therefore, probably, you may not then hold the ministry very much accountable for. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Well, two issues. One is that you have said the technocrats try as much as possible to make the
the response look better than it is, which is a very serious concern. And the Honorable Kamene has asked that you make a visit. I would like you to be specific on when the Health Committee is going to make this visit. And specifically, she's requesting the one for Kenyatta Nation Hospital. So when can you do that? Do you have an indication of time?
Pending on looking at our program, I think that's something we should be able to do before we go into recess. I think it can't be very specific until I go and look at our program. But we would want to do it before we go into recess.
Okay, Honorable Kamene, fair enough, before we go for recess. Thank you.
Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Rahim? Do you have a response to a statement?
Yes, Madam Speaker.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the first response is for Honorable Bernard Kitur, Member of Parliament for Nandi Hills. Madam Speaker, the committee received a response from the Ministry of Roads and Transport through the Clerk of the National Assembly, which I wish to make, regarding plans by the Kenya Rural Roads, KERA, to install properly designed and clearly marked speed bumps, erect proper signage and additional safety intervention, such as reflective road lighting to reduce the risk of accidents along the road. The Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport submitted that the ministry, through KERA, has prioritized the installation of safety installations and fixtures on the Danger, Chemuswa, Chepterit, Keses, Lesos, Junction C36, Chepterit, Moi University, and Himaki, and Nandi Hills roads. To this end, the contractor, MS China Railway Number 10 Engineering Group Company, has been instructed to install the requisite road safety installations on sections that have been substantially completed. The overall contract sum is 4,335,838,270. The contract sum for upgrading works is 3,730,612,158, while the sum for performance-based routine maintenance, PBRM, is shilling 605,226,112. The installation of the same is ongoing, with works currently underway at Chepterit, Moi University, and Chepterit, Kesos, Lesos road sections. Honorable Speaker, number 2, regarding the timelines for completion, the Cabinet Secretary has submitted that the installation of road safety fixtures at the entire project is expected to be completed by the end of December 2025. Regarding the measures put in place for safety installations in order to guarantee the safety of road users along Moi University Lesos Road, the Cabinet Secretary submitted that the ministry through the KERA shall ensure the maintenance of the road and its attendant furniture, including safety installations, is undertaken through the project's performance-based routine maintenance, PBRM, component for a period of 3 years, and after which the road shall be maintained through the regular RMLF provisions. I submit on behalf of the Chair, G.K. Karaoke, Chairman of Departmental Committee on Transport. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Rahim, on behalf of the Chair Transport and Infrastructure. Honorable Kitur, is the response satisfactory?
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to respond into this answer that is not satisfactory to a greater extent, because first of all, I want to appreciate that you've given the broader overview of this road. This road, Danger, that comes from Danger Chemuswa, that is from the side of Chesumei, comes all the way to Chepterit, to Moi University. That is Mgwen. And then again, the section that I was very keen is from Moi University to Lesos,
where, Madam Speaker, we have had over 7 fatalities, accidents, where we have lost 7 people. And this road was completed about 4 or 5 months ago, and the road is not marked. There are no signages, and that is the reason why I had asked this question. And the answer that I've received today indicates that they will be doing this before end of December 2025, which was part of the question I had asked. But the question I'm asking is, why didn't you prioritize this initially, that we've had to lose lives of people in Nandi Hills through this road that has been made, which we appreciate, but there are no road markings. In the same respect, they have mentioned the budget that they've put of 4 billion and 600 million for the purposes of maintenance. The road now that is being made by the same contractor between Himaki and Nandi Hills, I want you that we get the assurance that when the road is being made to completion, we should not wait again for another 4 or 5 months when the road is completed and it is not marked, the way it was done in Moi University to Lessos. We've lost so many lives. We don't want to lose any more lives. And finally, I want to appreciate, of course, the fact that the road is ongoing right now. It's being made. The Himaki and Hills Road is being made. Very good standards. But I want to implore on you that even as your oversight, make sure there are road markings, proper signages, so that we do not have, as we celebrate the road that has come, we do not have lives that have been lost. I think also, Madam Speaker, on the small time that I want to donate to my colleagues who are also sharing the same road. When I was asking this question, we are sharing the same road.
Actually,
Madam
I
Speaker.
thought that you'll summarize so that you give a chance to your colleagues, two of them.
Yeah, I can give them, Madam Speaker, because they have also their concerns on the same. I was actually speaking on behalf of Moi University to Lessos and the Himaki to Nandi Hills Road that is actually ongoing and being made, so that we don't have those problems again being witnessing where we lose lives. Madam Speaker, kindly, you can allow my colleagues to contribute on the balance of my time.
Anyway, the Honorable just says, make it quick. And remember, you're not debating. We just want you to focus on the response that has been given on behalf of the chair by the Honorable Rahim.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would like to give a rejoinder on the same of the 2 roads, Honorable Speaker, the one from Moi University to Lessos. It's sad that it has taken a number of lives, more than 7, just the way the member of Nandi Hills just mentioned. One of them is just close by, is a relative. The other one is my Bakule, the person we were initiated together, Honorable Speaker, for that term. And it has taken that long. I don't know why Kera, took that a long period of 5 months before taking an action. So, Honorable Speaker, I would want, so that we don't have such similar fatalities in the future, said that areas that they need to prioritize on areas that they know there are black spots, so that they do the road markings and proper signages on the same area. Finally, Honorable Speaker, is on the road from Chepterit to Moi University. If you had the figures that were used, close to 6 billion, Honorable Speaker. Right now, the road is in a deplorable condition. They are now repairing it, and they've done road markings before the repairs have been done. So I want to also ask the committee on roads so that they can look into it. We don't need to come here every time and complain, and yet we are bringing the grievances from our people back from home, the people who are using the same roads. So they are right now, Honorable Speaker, it is in a bad state. They have already done the road markings from the Chepterit to Moi University, yet the project is not complete. So that is the part in the future responses. Please include that so that we can know and also have what to tell my people back home. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Biego, the Honorable Biego, member for Chisumei. Make it quick, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. As a rejoinder, I must say that I think there's some communication breakdown somewhere, because the road that has been mentioned, the Danger Chemuswa Road, right now is in deplorable state. It is terrible. In fact, the constituents the other day blocked that road because there was a dangerous bridge called Kimondi, which has taken around 3 lives. And that road, for record purposes, Madam Speaker, it was initiated in 2016 up to now. The worst part of it is that there is no maintenance ahead of works. The little works that have been done right now have even made the road worse because it's now impassable. That road, they made some culverts. Those culverts are so big, they were not made well, and vehicles cannot pass. That road, right now, you'd have to go 20 kilometers to get back to that point. So what I must say, Madam Speaker, is that the Ministry of Roads under Kera should at least, even if not put tarmac for now, to make it at least motorable. The road is completely blocked. It cannot be used right now. And I'm really calling upon the chair of roads to actually give us a very good and concrete report. They cannot say that those billions of money that are put in that road, it is the same contractor, but that contractor is not on site. He just brought stones, 1 or 2 lorry loads, saying that he wants to make the bridge, but that road is not passable.
Yeah, I think you've made your point. Chair?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank my colleague members, and will definitely pass on their concerns to the concerned authority, the CS, who will be appearing before the committee soon. So I empathize with my colleagues, and we will get them the answers. We will get it from the Hansard, because I heard Honorable Kitur say markings are not done. The other member says markings are done, but the road is worn out, and we need to now get to the bottom of this. So I assure them we will get a better answer from the CS. Madam Speaker, can I reply to the second?
Yes,
one?
I'm informed that you have another response for the Honorable Wanjiko Moher.
Yes, Madam Speaker, and Honorable Wanjiko is there. So
You may proceed.
Thank
If
you,
you get
Madam.
a place where you can summarize and paraphrase, please do it.
Madam Speaker, it's a very short one, not like Honorable Nikal's, that was very long. Madam Speaker, Honorable Speaker, the committee received a response from the Ministry of Roads through the clerk, which I now wish to make, regarding the current progress, funding status, and expected completion date of the Getu Ndunyu Njero Road Project. The Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport submitted that the upgrading to bitumen standard and maintenance of Captain Ndemi Wanjohi kwa Mutu, Getu, Kahuruku, Ndunyu, Njero, access to Kirima Girls High School, access to Mwiru Primary School, Captain Loop Roads. Current project is currently 55% complete. This comprises 33.5 kilometers of roads upgraded to bitumen standards out of the contracted 60.2 kilometers and other ancillary works. The 2 contractors who have been at the project, namely Messrs. SBI and Intex Construction Company, have been paid a total of 1,598,359,652 to date, and the project is anticipated to be completed by June 2028, considering the volume of outstanding works. Honorable Speaker, regarding as to why the contractor abandoned site and why progress remains minimal, despite assurances for completion of works and payments made, the Cabinet Secretary submitted that the project commenced in December 2020, following its assignment to Messrs. Intex Construction Company Limited, resulting from challenges faced by the original contractor, SBI. Works progressed well at the project until the contractor suspended works on 4th of March 2024 for a period of 11 months and 9 days. This occurred as a result of the project facing severe financing challenges, similar other projects countrywide, following considerable accumulation of pending bills at the time. Madam Speaker, the settlement of the bulk of pending bills through the securitization in the year 2024-25 led to the contractor resuming works on 11 January 2025, and operations have since fully resumed on site, with progress being as per with expectations. Honorable Speaker, regarding confirmation of payments made to the contractor vis-a-vis the works done and measures taken to ensure timely completion of the project, The Cabinet Secretary submitted that the contractor has been paid his interim payment certificates amounting to 1,598,359,652, latest being made in August 2025, and has an amount totaling 338,429,298 currently outstanding. All the payments made to the contractor were duly certified and verified by the relevant parties as is contractually required. Finally, Madam Speaker, the Cabinet Secretary stated the Ministry, with the support from Parliament and National Treasury, will continue to ensure road projects have sustained funding through adequate budgetary provisions while exploring additional measures such as securitization, which has seen settlement of a significant portion of pending bills. I submit on behalf of the committee chair, Honorable G.K. Karaoke, Chair of Transport and Infrastructure. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Rahim. Honorable Wanjiku Moiha, is the answer satisfactory?
No, Chair. Waiting for this statement since last evening. And Honorable Chair, I would be seeking your guidance to the chairs because I sat here until 6. When the Speaker was about to call the chair, he left, seeing me not even communicating.
Let's go direct to, the response that has been given by the Honorable Rahim on behalf of the chair concerning your matter specifically.
I agree, Chair, but of course I had a point. Honorable Chair, first, my question was the current status which has been put down as that 3 kilometers done, which is 55% out of the 60 kilometers. But I want to bring to the attention of this House that this road transverse to 3 constituencies. It originates from Orkalau, which the 33 kilometers largely done from Orkalau constituency, then to Kipipiri, which Kipipiri is only covered with less than 2 kilometers, and again to Kinangop constituency. Honorable Speaker, in my original statement, I gave correlation of events. As the Minister has put it, the road started this work in 2020, but the original launch, as I had put on my statement, was in 2018. However, even if it started in 2020, it clearly translates that in 2 years, the company did 33 kilometers. That means in 1 year, the company did about 17 kilometers. And Honorable Speaker, the Minister recorded as a response to me and the people of Kipipiri that the remaining 27 kilometers will be completed in 2028. First, that is unacceptable. Because if 33 kilometers were made in 2 years, how can 27 kilometers be made in about 4 years? That means for Lamu, Garissa, Isiolo Road, which is 410 kilometers, will require 107 years to be completed if we go by this minister's data. Honorable Speaker, that not being accepted, I also note in part 2, I had requested the progress remaining and why the slowness of the work. Why is the progress so minimal? This was not responded to. And the minister responded so clearly that the money is already paid to date as late as August, just 2-3 months ago. So if the money is paid, there can only be 2 issues on this road. Either the contractor is very incompetent, or the contractor is not supervised, or there is a sabotage from executive on the construction of this road for the reasons well known to them. Honorable Speaker, number 3, the confirmation of payment I had requested on the timely completion of this project. The minister stating that the road will be completed in 2028. I have a further clarification. Does KERA or the Ministry of Road have a standard in terms of time frame? If it is there, the chair or the committee should have brought to me so that they say The standard of 60 kilometers require 10 years, and in this case, the remaining 27 years will require 6 years. With the charter, maybe there is a charter, I don't know, but I need to be informed what is the standard in terms of completion of the roads, because if the contractor is already paid, then funding ain't a problem to this project, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the chair must really respond how can 33 kilometers be completed in 2 years and why 27 will require 6 years. The chair must also respond if funding isn't a problem. Is the contractor being supervised? Is the contractor incompetent? And this road covering the constituencies by way of helping the chair and the ministry. Why couldn't they even divide the kilometers, maybe 20, like my constituency covers 22 kilometers. You can see the 33 kilometers are all in almost one constituency. And as we speak, Honorable Speaker, it is so serious because a place called Geta requires residents to travel to Nairobi or any direction through Donyojero. This Donyojero, which is in Kinagop, is not passable. The other side to Orkalao is also not passable. So the Geta people are landlocked. They cannot move in either side. And when I went to the committee, because I have gone to the committee on this issue, the minister had promised that this road would be completed in 2024. This road was again relaunched by the president in 2023. Again, the promise was made that it was going to be completed the same year. So it comes as a shock to the residents of Kipipiri. Honorable Speaker, because I've really been waiting for this statement, allow me to execute my point, Honorable
I know you have been in this house, so you're a ranking member, and you know the opportunity you have is not for debating, but it is for asking very specific questions concerning the response, and you've made your point. Now I would like to give a chance to the chair to respond to the pertinent issues that have been raised by the Honorable Wanjiku Muya. Please, Chair, proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I would want, Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, can I continue? Madam Speaker.
Chair, continue. I'll give a chance to you if you want further clarification. Chair, proceed.
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I would want to. Madam Speaker.
I will give you more time to seek clarification, Honorable Wanjiku Muya. What is out of order, Honorable?
The Speaker is supposed to moderate debate. You are not supposed to take sides, Madam Speaker.
It's not about taking...
Allow the Honorable Muya execute her point. She is raising this on behalf of the people of Kipipiri constituency. It is in her right as a member of this House that the chairman has given answers which are not satisfactory. Let the Honorable Muya give
point of order? I would
parameters.
like you to pick the standing orders
Let
and
Honorable
show
Muya
me
give the
the
parameters
standing
of
order
her-
that you are using, because well, you are out of order. You are completely out of order, and you are not going to teach me how to do my job. I am not going to allow you to teach me how to do my job. You are out of order. You are not the one who is on the floor, and you have no right at all to interfere with proceedings of this House. Continue, Chair.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Muya has raised a few points, but I think one, she should withdraw in that she has said maybe the executive has looked at her and not doing the work. Madam Speaker, this work started in 2020 and not 2 years back, but I empathize with what she has said, that works have been delayed, and we will communicate as the Transport Ministry to the Minister concerned, but she should, I think, withdraw that the executive has not favored her or done because of her stance, because I don't think that is the case. for this, because all our roads, not just Honorable Muia, even in my constituency, I have a problem. Even in your constituency, Madam Speaker, there is a problem of money which is not allocated enough. In a year, we allocate only 65 billion for the Ministry of Transport for roads, and the pending bills are over 500 billion. So, Madam Speaker, I will pass on the concerns of Honorable Muia. I understand where she's coming from, but blanket saying that the executive, because of her stance, is why they're making her suffer, I think that was a bit wrong. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chair, I listened to the Honorable Wanjiku Muhea very well, and she asked a question, whether do we have standards? And I think what she's asking for is then this number of kilometers in this number of months. Is there such?
Madam Speaker, the issue what Honorable Muia has talked about, this is not the original contractor. SBI was the original contractor. And later on, it was reassigned because the original contractor could not do the job. So that is the reason. And the other reason was she had asked why roadworks have stopped. Because it was non-payment of dues to the road contractor. That was the other reason, which has already been answered there. So there is no fast rule that this contract should be, 1 kilometer in one constituency will be the same. It just goes that everything has to be finished fast and in timely manner if the funds are available. That is the only criteria, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, first, honorable member should not speak on my behalf. And I would like...
Please
like
take your
this
seat
clarification.
first. Take your seat first. I was struggling with the mic, so I had not allowed you. I would like you, Wanjiku, to just go specific on this, on that particular road, on your road.
The contractor, as per my question, has delayed. Honorable Speaker, I do not know where the chair is referring to, because this is the response from the ministry. It's in black and white that the contractor who was given the job was not able, and that's why the first launch was 2018. And after 2 years, the ministry gave another contractor, and the minister has recorded here that the job started in 2020. I'm not in dispute. 2020, 2021, they did 33 kilometers, very well, I'm not in dispute. Then 2023, 2024, there was no money. That's still okay, I'm not disputing. And the minister has recorded that in January 2025 this year, the money was paid. So my clarification is, if the money was paid, then funding is not a problem. Why is it at snail speed from January to date? That is 11 months. We have not seen any work going on. If the money is not a problem and the money has been paid and the minister has recorded the money paid as late as August this year, and the contractor resumed the job in January this year, my question was clear. Why is it so slow progress? And that question still remains. I think they need to answer. He can't also say that it has to be complete in time. 2028 is not in time. And Honorable Speaker, I said, if the contractor is paid, then there can only be 2-3 factors. One, either the contractor is incompetent. Two, either the contractor is not supervised, and I further added, or the executive is sabotaging. And as I conclude, Honorable Speaker, I wouldn't urge this committee to call the minister here, because I've been in their committee, I've spoken with Honorable Murkomen when he was the minister for this road. Honorable Chichu has brought this statement. I would wish the president, especially when he come here tomorrow, he answer on this road, the president himself.
You are out of order. You are out of order, Honorable Wanjiku. You are completely out of order. But for the purpose of making progress, honorable members, the president will not be answering to your question, Honorable Wanjiku Muhea. You will follow the right process, and you are answers will be given. You have the freedom to go to the Committee on Transport and Infrastructure. However, I would like us to make progress, honorable members. The Honorable Rahim is not the chair. The chair is not in the House, and he has made a lot of effort to give the responses, bearing in mind that he's also speaking on behalf of the Cabinet Secretary, who is not here. Honorable Rahim, you still want to continue? I wanted to help you by passing this also to the substantive chair of the
Thank you,
committee.
Madam Speaker. In no way am I demeaning what Honorable Muya has said. I understand her frustrations in that the completion date has been put to June 2028. And I will definitely pass her reservations to the CS Honorable Chirchir, because June 28 is very, very far. We would want it to be finished the earliest possible, because we are getting the infrastructure bond as proposed by the minister. So once that has been done, and when the money is there, I do not see why it should stay until June 2028. So I will pass on Honorable Muya. You are my friend. We've been in Parliament together for long enough. So I will pass your frustrations. And I believe it's not the executive which is sabotaging, but we will definitely work through it. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Anything out of order? I do not see you anywhere. I can hear your voice, member for Kitui Rural, but I don't see you anywhere on the screen. Is there anything out of order? Because your hand has been up. However, before I go to you, I would like, first of all, to order that the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure takes into consideration the matter that is being raised by the Honorable Muhia concerning matters of standards and timelines, because her argument is very clear that if it takes 1 year to do this number of kilometers in this constituency, it should take the same number of months to finish in another constituency, especially when we have funds available. I think that is the argument that we have here. And this must reach the committee and the chair. The clerk take into consideration that. Thank you very much. What is out of order, Honorable Malika, member for Kitui Rural?
I think, Chair, you have just said it. The questions which Honorable Muya is raising are very simple. Either there's no funds, either there's no supervision. But you see, the answers which he's getting, I've listened to Honorable Dawood. I don't think those questions are really, the answers are really very adequate. And it's upon to the ministry to give this House adequate questions, answers to the questions which members are raising. Instead of really coming with the general answers, our questions are very, very simple and very straightforward. I mean, if it was me, I would look at the questions and really answer straight away. So members, even the committees, when you get those kind of questions, you need to ask yourself, are these questions, are these answers adequate to bring to this House? If they are not adequate, return them to the CS so that they can give adequate answers. We are not here to joke. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Kitui Rural, I'll be kind to you. I'll not ask you which standing order. I'll be very kind to you. So, honorable members, I think we need to make progress. Next order.
Order number 9, motion, consideration of Senate amendments to the Public Service Values and Principles Amendment Bill, National Assembly, Bill number 46 of 2022.
Those who are on the screen.
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, can I continue? Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this is a bill which I moved in 2023 and which has come to the House again with amendments from the Senate. And Madam Speaker, I totally agree with the amendments by the Senate because there is no significant change to the bill. It is just a deletion, one deletion, and one addition of human resource in the second amendment. And Madam Speaker, the reason for me to agree is because the committee, I see the committee report saying that those amendments should be...
Did he move?
Those committee amendment, those amendments should be rejected. But Madam Speaker, do we seriously want to go to mediation for such a small issue? And the committee...
Honorable Rahim, I know that you have interacted with this bill before. It is your bill. However, now that it is in the House, you need to move.
Okay, Madam Speaker, I beg to move that this House considers the Senate amendments and passes the Senate amendments to the Public Service Values and Principles Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2022 with the Senate amendments. I beg to move and I ask Honorable Paul Biego to second.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I beg to second. Thank you.
Thank you very much, honorable members. Honorable members, I propose the question that Honorable members, I propose the question that the Senate Amendment Bill to the Public Service Values and Principles Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2022 be now considered.
There are several people on the screen. However, I do not know whether you have interest in this. And if you have no interest in this, I'll go ahead and put the question. Honorable members, may I go ahead and put the question? Thank you.
Clearly, there is no interest. Honorable members, I now put the question that the Senate Amendment to the Public Service Values and Principles Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2024 be now considered. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as of contrary opinion say nay. Nay.
The ayes have it.
Order number 10, Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable members, we are in the Committee of the Whole House and we have 3 bills to consider. One is consideration of Senate Amendment to the Public Service
Values and Principles Amendment Bill number 22 by the Honorable Abdul Rahim Dahoud. We also have the Basic Education Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 59 of 2023 by the Honorable Mary Wamaua. And 3, we have the Births and Deaths Registration Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 37 of 2024 by the Honorable Martha Wangari. We start with the first one, consideration of Senate amendments to the Public Service Values and Principles Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2022. Is the chair administration in the House? Do we have anyone to represent? Yes, thank you very much, member for.
Senate amendment to clause 3.
I propose the question that Senate amendment to clause 3 be now approved. Chair, you may proceed.
Thank you, Chair. The message from the Senate forwarding the Senate amendment on the bill was conveyed to the House on 16th April 2024 and subsequently referred to the Departmental Committee on Labor for consideration. The committee held a meeting on Thursday, 13th June 2024 to consider the Senate amendment to the bill. The committee rejected the amendment proposed to clause 2 and 3 of the Public Service Value and Principles Amendment Bill 2022, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2022. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, on the proposal that clause 2 of the bill be amended by deleting the definition of the term authorized officer and substituting therefore the following new definition. Authorized officer means an officer appointed with the Public Service or Service Commission to perform a human resource management function within the public service.
Honorable COE,
yes.
Since members have interacted with this bill before, you can just say as per the order paper to summarize, but we still want justifications in a summary.
I'm almost done.
Okay, please proceed.
The committee observed that the Senate amendment seeks to provide the meaning of an authorized officer to be the one appointed to perform a human resource management function. The committee rejected the proposal amendments. The responsibility should be bestowed on the officer appointed within the Public Service or Service Commission to perform its delegated function. This includes Commission Secretary and the Chief Executive Officer. Honorable Chair, on the proposal that clause 3 of the bill be amended by deleting paragraph. So we do the first one first.
Now, Honorable Lillian,
yes,
deal with clause 3 first and just inform the House why the committee is proposing rejection.
Okay, now the one that I had read was clause 2. Now let me go to clause 3 first.
Yes, go to clause 3. You're right.
On the proposal that clause 3 of the bill be amended by deleting paragraph A, that is clause 3 of the bill provides for the amendment of section 16 of the Principal Act in subsection 1 by inserting the word "and each public office" immediately after the word "each service commission." The committee rejected the proposed amendment, noting that the proposed amendment on the bill as passed in the National Assembly seeks to broaden the scope of reporting on the status of the promotion of the values and principles of public service by including public offices. Should I continue?
You may take your seat now. Honorable members, I now propose the question that the Senate amendment to clause 3 be amended as proposed by the Honorable COE. Actually, this committee is recommending rejection of what was recommended by the Senate. So I would like to allow debate. Those who may have interest. The Honorable Rahim.
Madam Speaker, the reason
You're
this-
actually the sponsor of the bill, so you may give us some more insights.
Madam Speaker, what the committee has proposed rejecting does not make any difference, because what has been done by the Senate has enhanced the bill, and there is no reason why it should not be deleted. What we had passed, they have enhanced, and there is no issue, because otherwise, when we do the rejection of the Senate amendments, we are asking to go to mediation, which is a long process. Madam Speaker, this Committee of Labor received this bill on 11th of March 2024. It's set on this bill for 1.5 years. Down the line is when it's now coming and saying that they are rejecting the amendment by the Senate. Madam Speaker, I oppose.
Well, I would like to hear voices of other members. The Honorable Dr. Nyikal, are you interested in this one?
I'm interested.
Those who are interested in this, kindly hit the intervention button.
I would actually ask Honorable Dawood, let's hear the substance, because he's right that if you actually reject, then what it means is therefore you are going to have a mediation and we'll take it. But what are the substance? Let's hear more about the substance. What are we discussing? What is being rejected? What is being accepted?
The Honorable Biego. The Honorable Biego.
Madam Speaker, I actually stand here to support the Honorable Dahu, and would actually want to hear what the chair is saying, because it is very frustrating that a bill has taken all this time, the same bill which we had passed, and that bill now, after being enhanced, the committee comes and declines. I think I oppose that, but before, we need to get to the gist. What exactly is the committee rejecting? Thank you.
Honorable members. Yes, Honorable Sioe.
We are rejecting because, according to Dawood, we are narrowing. As we are proposing that we broaden the reporting points. That is the reason as to why we had to reject.
Okay. Honorable Dawood, please approach the chair. The Honorable Doris Donya.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm actually in the Committee of Labor. Why we rejected the proposed amendment is because it's like they want to take away the services which are being provided by the public service and do it by themselves. You know, there is a reason why that department was created. Change of name does not affect service delivery. We could be talking on how to improve the services that the people are receiving than talking about the change of name. It doesn't have any basis, Chair, Madam Chair. That is why we said let it remain the way it is. They continue performing their work, and if they feel they can be incorporated, we felt that they want to take away their responsibilities, which they have been mandated to do. Thank you.
The Honorable Member for Kericho.
Honorable Chair, I'm just surprised that Honorable Dawood is giving this point that is not supporting, is rejecting what the committee said because it has taken 1 year. Is that reason enough? Is that reason enough? So, let me understand.
I do not know whether he said that on record. I don't know whether he said that on record.
Year, because
but you have time to
year.
argue your point and also support your committee. You have the freedom. The Honorable Anjiko Moya, is she here? Apparently, the screen shows that she's on intervention. Honorable Biego?
Yes, I would just like to inform my colleague Beatrice that it is not, I want to inform Madam Beatrice, my colleague, that what Dahu said is that that bill had taken a long time to the point that it was given to Senate. So it is not the mere fact that the bill has taken that time that Dahu now is opposing. What Dahu is saying, he's the owner of the bill, and he says that that amendment is so slight and it is enhancing the bill. So what is the big deal? We want to actually hear the substance from the committee members.
Thank you, Honorable Biego. The committee members have actually also made contributions. Honorable members, for the purpose of information, if you vote yes, it means that you agree with the Senate amendments. If you vote nay, it means that you have refused the Senate amendments and you agree with the committee. So I now put the question. I now put the question that the Senate amendment to clause 3 be now approved. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say nay. Nay. The nays have it.
Senate amendment to clause 2.
I propose the question that the Senate amendment to clause 2 be now approved. Chair. You may now proceed, the honorable member for Trans Nzoia. Lillian, you are representing the chair.
Yes.
Please proceed.
We will allow it to go the way it has been passed by the House.
Well, it is not the next one. It is clause 2 now.
Oh, I go.
Yeah, we have already finished. You go to clause 2.
Okay, clause 2 on the proposal that clause 2 of the bill be amended by deleting the definition of the term authorized officer and substituting, therefore, the following new definition: authorized officer.
Thank you, Chair. I now propose the question that the Senate amendment.
I have not finished.
You've not finished?
Yes.
Okay, then finish.
Authorized officer means an officer appointed within the public service or service commission to perform a human resource management function within the public service or service commission. So the committee observed that the Senate amendment seeks to provide the meaning of an authorized officer to be the one appointed to perform a human resource management function. The committee rejected the proposal amendment that the responsibility should be bestowed on the officer appointed within the public service or service commission to perform its delegated function. This includes commission secretary and chief executive officers.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, the only...
I didn't even allow you. But since you are the only one who has shown interest, please proceed.
Madam Chair, the only addition which the Senate has done has said add human resource. And I do not see that as a substantial change of the bill. And it does not alter the way the bill is. So, Madam Speaker, I encourage my colleagues to reject the Senate, the committee amendment, to reject this amendment. So I say no. I am not agreeing with the committee. I'm saying reject the committee's report in rejecting the Senate because it's a bit complicated here. So I'm saying no to the committee report.
Actually, based on what you have said in this and also previously, you are agreeing with the committee. You are agreeing with the committee, but you can actually approach the chair. You voted nay. You voted nay, and that is why I asked you to approach the chair. But honorable members, let us make progress. I now put the question that the Senate amendment to clause 2 be now approved. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The nays have it.
The Honorable Dawood. The Honorable Dawood.
We are rejecting the committee amendment. The committee was not amending. The committee report.
You are the move. Who is the move?
The speaker is it the chair? If you want to agree with the Senate amendment, vote aye. If you want to agree,
It was a bit.
that is why I was rejecting the committee. That is why we tried the here.
Mover. Mover, the Honorable Rahim.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of Senate amendments, Public Service Values and Principles Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2022 with its approval without amendments.
Thank you very much, Honorable Rahim. I now put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Senate amendment to the Public Service Values and Principles Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2022 and its approval thereof without amendments. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. We now move to the next bill. That is the Basic Education Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 59 of 2023. Honorable Mary Wamaua.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. There is a proposed amendment by the chair.
Thank you, Chair. I propose that the bill be amended as by the order paper. This is to actually give independence to the Sub-County Education Board, so that it can be able to run its affairs independent of the County Education Board. Thank you.
Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the chairman. I do not see any interest, so I now put the question that clause 2. Honorable Wamaua? Yes, actually, Honorable Wamaua, you deserve.
Yeah,
Please proceed.
thank you, Chair. I support the proposed amendment because, Madam Chair, this will improve the structure by eliminating unnecessary bureaucratic layers that involve the multiple bodies. So I support.
Thank you very much. As many as of that opinion say aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 2 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? I now put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye?
So I now put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I now put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Mover to move reporting. Mover to move reporting. Chair? No, the mover of the bill is the Honorable Amawa. The Honorable Amawa, you may please approach the chair. Well, thank you very much for that consultation. Now, mover to move reporting. Honorable Amawa, you may proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I beg to move that the committee do report it to the House its consideration of the Basic Education Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 59 of 2023, and its approval with amendments.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you. Honorable members, and I'll put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Basic Education Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 59 of 2023, and its approval thereof with amendments. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of our contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. We now move to the third one, which is Birth and Death Registration Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 37 of 2024. The Honorable Martha Wangari, you may proceed.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. There is an amendment by the chair. Chair Administration. Honorable Martha, you may proceed.
Thank you, Chair. We are in agreement with the committee that the bill be amended as on the order paper to insert clause 2 of the bill to be amended in the proposed new section 1A by deleting the word constituency and substituting thereof with the word sub-county. And Madam Chair, the import of this amendment is to ensure that in every sub-county in the country, we have a civil registration center where members of the public can access death certificates, birth certificates, and related services.
I propose the question. Thank you very much, Honorable Martha Wangari. I propose the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Martha Wangari. Member for Kericho.
Madam Chair, I want to support that amendment, given the fact that some constituencies have more than sub-county, and they have office in the sub-counties. So it is very, very important that the services go near, closer to the people. I support that amendment.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Rahim.
Chair, I support the amendment because we've got over 350 sub-counties in the country. But when we are doing this, Madam Chair, we even need to push the Ministry of Interior to establish, even in those 290 constituencies that were not there. So we need to make sure that with the passing of this bill, they are established in the sub-counties. Each and every sub-county should have that office. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. I now put the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Mother Wangari. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 2 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? I'm going to take the question again. I will now put the question that clause 2 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Title.
I propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. There be no amendment. I now put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I now put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Mover to move reporting. Honorable Mother Wangari.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Births and Deaths Registration Bill, National Assembly Bill number 37 of 2024, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Thank you, honorable members. I put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the births. Thank you. Honorable members, I put the question again, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Births and Deaths Registration Bill, National Assembly Bill number 37 of 2024, and its approval with amendments. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Honorable members, Madam Speaker.
One for the Senate amendments. Chair.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Senate amendments to the Public Service Values and Principle Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2022, and approved the same without amendment.
Thank you very much. The mover of the bill, the Honorable Rahim.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also request Honorable Lillian to second the motion for agreement with the report of the committee of the whole House.
I second.
Thank you, Honorable CA. Honorable members, I now put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. May I go ahead and put the question? Yes. I now put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many as have that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as have a contrary opinion say nay. There is have it. Honorable members, let's move to the next one. The mover of the bill. This is basic education. We can go to basic education. Mover. Chairperson first. Thank you very much, Honorable Amawa. You may take your seat first.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Basic Education Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 59 of 2023, and approved the same with amendments.
The Honorable Amawa.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also request the Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Mary, to second the motion for agreement with the report of the committee of the whole House with amendment.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I second.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, I propose the question, which is that the Basic Education Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 59 of 2023 be now read a third time. Honorable members, I now propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. May I go ahead and put the question? I now put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many as have that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as have a contrary opinion say nay. There is have it. Mover to move that reading. The Honorable Amawa.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Basic Education Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 59 of 2023, be now read at that time, and I also request the Honorable Chair, Honorable Mary, to second.
Chair.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I second.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I propose the question, which is that the Basic Education Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 59 of 2023 be now read a third time. May I go ahead and put the question? I therefore put the question, which is that the Basic Education Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 59 of 2023 be now read a third time. As many as have that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as have a contrary opinion say nay. There is have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Basic Education Act and for connected purposes.
We are now on the third one, honorable members, the Births and Death Registration Bill, National Assembly Bill number 37 of 2024.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Births and Death Registration Bill, National Assembly Bill number 37 of 2024, and approved the same with amendments.
Give the mic to the Honorable Mother Wangari. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also request the Honorable Beatrice Kemei of Kericho to second the motion for agreement with the report.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I second.
Thank you. I propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. May I go ahead and put the question? I now put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many as have that opinion say aye. As many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Mover to move that reading. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Births and Deaths Registration Bill, National Assembly number 37 of 2024, be now read a third time. I also request Honorable Beatrice Kemei of Kericho to second.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Speaker, I second.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I propose a question, which is that the Birth and Death Registration Bill, National Assembly Bill number 37 of 2024, be now read a third time. May I go ahead and put the question? I now put the question, which is that the Birth and Death Registration Bill, National Assembly Bill number 37 of 2024, be now read a third time. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next order.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Birth and Death Registration Act and for connected purposes. Number 10, the Environmental Professionals Institute of Kenya Bill, National Assembly Bill number 36 of 2024. Resumption of debate.
Honorable Gashagwa is in the house. Yes. Honorable Gashagwa, you had a balance of time. You were moving, and you have 28 minutes. So I think I believe, yes, you have time. You can continue moving your.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for allowing me to continue presenting this bill for a second reading. The Environmental Professional Institute of Kenya Bill, National Assembly Bill number 36 of 2024. Honorable Speaker, Clause 7 provides for the powers of the Council, which include 1, control, supervise, and administer the assets of the Institute in such manner as best promotes the purpose for which the Institute is established. 2, determine the provisions to be made for capital and recurrent expenditure and for the reserves of the Institute. 3, receive any grants, gifts, donations, or endowments and make legitimate disbursements therefrom. Then open such banking accounts for its funds as may be necessary and invest any surplus funds of the Institute. Honorable Speaker, Clause 9 provides for the eligibility of election as a member of the Council. A person is eligible if they have been a member of good conduct of the Institute and practiced as an environmental professional for at least 3 years. Further, one must not have been found liable for professional misconduct in the 3 years immediately preceding the election and must meet the requirements of Chapter 6 of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, Clause 19 of the bill sets out the categories of membership to the Institute, which shall consist of the following. A, lead members, being individuals who are duly registered as members of the Institute in accordance with the provisions of this Act. Associate members comprising A, persons who meet the prescribed criteria for associate membership as may be set out in the regulations. B, persons who are eligible to be registered as lead members but do not meet all the requirements prescribed under this Act. And C, corporate members, being firms or bodies corporate, engaged in environmental management activities and duly issued with a practicing certificate pursuant to Section 23 of this Act. D, fellow members, being individuals who have extensive experience and stewardship towards the environmentalism and are senior to the lead member category. E, honorary member, being individuals of exemplary service or distinguished stewardship towards the environment. Madam Speaker, this membership structure is intended to ensure inclusivity and equitable recognition of all categories of persons engaged in the environmental profession. It provides for admission of all professionals, practitioners, and Kenyan citizens who have rendered or are continuing to render notable services in the field of environmental management and practice. Madam Speaker, clause 37 to 41 of the bill contains provisions of funds of the Institute, which include such fees or monies as may accrue or vest in the Institute in the course of the exercise of its powers or the performance of its functions, donations, grants to the Institute, and such monies as may be payable to the Institute. It is worth noting that the Institute will not be funded by the exchequer or government funds, but through internal sources, including membership fees, fees raised from the professional services such as certification and continuing education programs, and income generated from assets acquired during its operations. It is worth noting that the Institute has been in existence for the last 11 years, serving as a society. Madam Speaker, Environmental Institute of Kenya will be similar to existing statutory professional bodies, such as the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, ISPAC, for accountants, the Institute of Human Resources Management for human resources professionals, the Institute of Certified Secretaries, the Company Secretaries, the Law Society of Kenya, LSK for lawyers. These bodies have elevated professional standards in their respective sectors. Further, Madam Speaker, the establishment of this environmental professional body seeks to align with international best practices in the regulation, the recognition of environmental professionals. Similar structures exist in other jurisdictions, such as both the Rwanda Association of Professional Environmental Practitioners, which regulates environmental professionals in Rwanda, the National Association of Environmental Professionals in the United States of America, which promotes excellence in environmental practice through certification, professional development, and ethical standards. Madam Speaker, the Environmental Professionals Institute of Kenya will ensure that only qualified and ethical professionals practice in their sector. It aims to eliminate unqualified individuals, improve service delivery, and foster accountability in environmental management. The bill also promotes continuous professional development and introduces a structured career progression for environmental practitioners, including adoption of Code of Ethics and Continuous Professional Development, CPD, to deal with emerging environmental issues such as loss of biodiversity, pollution, climate change, and ecosystem disruptions. Mr. Speaker, it is instructive to note that under the Environmental Management and Coordination Act, Cap 387, Environmental Impact Assessment, EIA, Environmental Audit and Strategic Environmental Assessment, experts are not required to undertake a degree course in the field of environment, natural resources, earth sciences, or research. Madam Speaker, Finally, as I conclude, permit me to observe that there is a significant gap in Kenya's environmental governance. The absence of a statutory professional body to regulate environmental practitioners. While institutions like the National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, enforce laws, there is no counterpart responsible for the certification, professional development, and ethical oversight of practitioners in this critical field. Rather than duplicating NEMA's functions, EPIC will complement its regulatory work by focusing on professional ethics, training, certification, and advocacy. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move and call upon the Honorable Dawood to second. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Gachagua. You have been able to move, but because of time, your seconder, the Honorable Rahim, will not be able to second today. He'll second when the matter is put in the order paper by the House Business Committee. Honorable members, and the time being 1 p.m., this House stands adjourned until today, Wednesday, 19th of November 2025 at 2:30 p.m.